at that background.
Wow.
Wow, that looks good.
Wow, that looks good.
All right, let's make eye contact.
Alien approved. All right. It's a pleasure to talk with you today, Dave and Matt. The fans have been hungry for more, and now the Aqua Teens are back to show that they're still #1 in the hood. And I'm glad to be here with the OG creators themselves, Dave, Willis, Matt Maiellaro, the chew to fat on this appetite-whetting tour de force of a new season, sure to please all the teens and the teens who grew up with the show 20 years ago. So to start off, you have been really, over the last couple of years, going from one Aqua Teen revival project from another, from the Aquadonk side pieces to Plantasm, now this new season. What has been that process like? Have you just been jumping right from one to the next? Or has it been, hey, we want to do more each time you finish one?
Yeah, I think the company realizes that if they want to make money, they need to keep making the show.
We're #1 in the hood, and then Rick and Morty is #2 in the hood, and everything else is a distant third in the hood.
They're not even near the hood. They live way out
They're in a different hood.
Whole other neighborhood. Yeah, the Aqua Teens have an incredible longevity. One of the launch shows, and just a few years after its ending, we're back for more. What do you attribute to the enduring popularity of Aqua Teen?
I think they're timeless characters. They're one of the few timeless character shows ever made. So it's like the longevity is just, it's a given, right? It can go on and on and on. In fact, we were going to go back and do seasons prior to season 1, just to kind of round it out. No other show in the history of shows is as good as this one.
If we get another season, the whole season will be a prequel. All 10 episodes will happen before the first episode.
It'll be like actually making that preschooler version of Aqua Teen they did for April Fools.
No, it'll be like Cube Zero, where they had to go back from the first cube. Remember that? They went back. Yeah, well, we're going back before that.
Cube -1.
Like Finnegan's Wake, it'll be just like a perfect circle. Like we'll finish up, and you could tie that to the pilot like an Ouroboros, like a snake eating itself. The show will end just as they're moving into the house in New Jersey.
Yeah, and it's going to be called ATHF -1 because we're going backwards.
Full circle.
And that new Godzilla stole that from us.
Oh my God, Aqua Teens versus Godzilla. That's gonna have to be a fight that needs to happen.
Well, that'll probably never happen because we're already tied up in a big lawsuit with them because of the -1.
That's why we had to change his name to Dogzilla.
Yeah.
Even though he's not dog-like, he's still very much a large lizard that destroyed Tokyo, but
yeah, he's Zilla-esque.
Different one. Different Zilla.
Smells different too.
Yeah, so long as it's not the Zilla from the American movie. But one of the fun parts about
I know. I tell you what, man, speaking of the Marvels, that does suck. Have you seen it? I have not, but I just know it's not any good. It's not good, is it? What was the part you hated the most? Like when it started and you knew you had to wait an hour and a half to get home to shower?
I actually laughed a lot at it. It's a rather plotless, but it's a good time. But not as funny as the Aqua Teens. One of my favorite parts about the show going back is also you've reunited the original cast. Also, you've got a lot of the original crew that worked on the show back in the day back together. So what was that process like about reassembling the whole crew?
Well, it's like you have like basically 6 to 8 years of people that you've worked with your entire adult life, texting you about every 3 weeks, going, anything going on? And you text them back, no, not really. Still waiting on this other thing to go through. And sooner or later, someone says, hey, you want to make more Aqua Teens? And then you can text everyone on a group text to go, what are you doing? I haven't been doing anything for 8 years. Yes, absolutely. Let's do it.
Nice. So wait, I
That's
mean,
the
you
answer. That's
guys,
the answer to your question. That was a perfect answer.
Dana's been doing stuff.
Yeah.
Dana, he's doing a voice on SpongeBob, right? The SpongeBob spinoff.
yeah,
Mhm.
and he's also on Ghost with Molly McGee, where he plays like one of the lead characters.
Is that still going?
Yeah, it's still going.
Oh, that
SpongeBob.
shouldn't be going.
We've been contacting those people like Nickelodeon and calling and saying, he drinks a lot. He's got some issues and sort of trying to get him fired and canceled so that we have exclusive usage of his voice talents.
Yeah, we've tried to
It
set
hasn't
him up
worked
too with,
as of yet.
yeah, not yet.
It's definitely interesting to hear G-rated Dana Snyder performance and his work on those kid shows. But yeah, another thing that I really enjoy about the new season is that, you've definitely like plussed up a lot of the animation. The new opening sequence is like a remix of the original opening sequence, both the musical score and the animation. So I was wondering like what has been like the process of like kind of going into the production of the show with kind of like, new animation techniques, like the stylistic kind of direction for the first episode, Shaketopia, and like kind of experimenting with the show style.
It's been nice. They added a couple of new facial designs for the characters. The characters can kind of bend now. I should mention that Floyd County did this season, and we had been with Bento Box for the movie. Todd Redner, like a longtime guy, like he first started with us on Love Mummy, which is like the 6th episode of our entire existence. Like he was the animation director of this season, and he added all sorts of little crazy stuff. Some stuff was like too crazy. Every once in a while, someone would go, like Nick Inkatanawat and our group of producers was like, I like it when it was stiff, when the show was stiff, but occasionally like Shake's hand will detach from his body, move around. It's kind of like, all right, that's cool. It kind of looks like a reboot,
Yeah, the look is really good. And I tell you, we always anticipated having a new theme song, and had these ideas of who we were going to get and put together, and then we were told we had no money for a theme song. So Nick Inkatanawat went in, found all the old recordings from Schoolie and other music that we had done, and he kind of created this mishmash of the new open. And I play a little guitar on it, and we really like it. It's good.
Yeah, Redner redid his whole group at Floyd redid the open, and kind of back when we didn't have any money and we just had to use a still and we just do camera moves on this very still shot. And he actually added animation this season, which is great. We're storyboarding the episodes now like a real cartoon. That's how cartoons get made. I didn't know that until just like earlier this year.
Wow, that's awesome. So you've taken like a different approach almost to the production process. And now it's like kind of starting from the boards rather than all being built in like kind of the editing phase.
Yeah, we're taking the professional cartoon makers approach. When back in the day, it was just like, how do we do this?
Yeah, and the editors are mad about it because they're like, what do you mean 4 weeks to cut this together? I would used to take 8 months. I want my crappy Blueberry iMac back. Because I could go out for a smoke and a coffee during a render. Now it doesn't. You don't even have to hit render. It just happens.
Auto render.
What's wrong with this modern technology?
Making things
less billable
gooey.
hours.
Well, another thing that's been interesting about like the episodes that I previewed so far is that you're tackling topics like VR, parodying movies like A Quiet Place. It feels like episodes the show would have done if they never went off the air. With only 5 episodes to work with, like what did you want to really focus on when going into this season in terms of
Well, first of all, we wanted to get our version of The Real Quiet Place out there, because when we were coming up with this at Skywalker, there were some people hanging out listening to us, and then they happened to it's faster to put out live action. So they put their movie out first, but it was really our movie. So we finally had a chance to do what we had envisioned, and now we're suing them.
That's right. John Krasinski was sitting one row behind us, always in our sweetening, in our suite. And you turn around and you go, "Are you writing this down?" And he'd give you that look like Jim in The Office, like he'd be like,
incredible, right?
And
Incredible
sure enough,
story, but
a year later he puts out the movie, and we're canceled for 8 years. Can't do a thing about it.
Oh man.
So Quiet Shake was made in 2014, and it's been shelved.
Lost episode, finally seen the light of day.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see the real A Quiet Place, with, of course, the first three letters of Rear being ear spelled backwards. So there you go. But yeah, I mean, this new season, do you see it as like the start of perhaps continued rival? What would you like to continue doing with Aqua Teen as it goes forward? Because one of the things I liked about the show is that it continued to experiment and like build and try new things as it went on. So like with Aqua Teen getting this like kind of second revival run now, what would you like to see and do with the series going forward?
First off, we should say that we don't know that we'll get to do more unless fans like you send threatening, scary letters to the network. Really scary letters about what could happen if we don't get more episodes. But yes, I don't know if we get more episodes, what would happen, Matt? What would we do?
We would probably make them.
There you go.
Yeah. In fact, right now it's like we're just like, we're already knee deep in a whole nother show with more episodes that we are going to sell. But when we could be just doing Aqua Teen. So thing is, it's kind of a turnkey operation. You just say do 10 more, and then next thing you know, 10 get done. Because it's all everybody just works together. It's like the clock on your desktop. It just goes while you're doing something else.
Nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, whether you guys continue doing more Aqua Teen or do other projects, I love all your guys' stuff. 12-ounce Mouse, Squidbillies, Your Pretty Face, they're all a blast. So it was a real pleasure to talk with you guys today. But I definitely don't think this will be the last we see of the Aqua Teens, because those lyrics in Aqua Teen Forever have turned out to be prophetic. Aqua Teen will never be canceled. Aqua Teen won't be dismantled. Aqua Teen will always be together. Aqua Teen will always be forever. And I definitely believe that. So thank you for this great show. Looking forward to more episodes coming on November 26th. And excited to see what's next for you guys.
Great.
Thank you. Send in those scary letters.
Will do. All channel and Carls and Shakes to be adamantly demanded. Thank you so much. Pleasure to talk to you guys.
Yeah,
Big
thanks
fan.
for doing it.
And
Appreciate it.
yeah, hope you have a wonderful rest of your interview today. And yeah, hope to talk to you again another day too.
Make that your permanent Zoom background
Well,
for every other interview.
Aqua Teens forever. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.